Today we are building a 2026 AI-proof resume, and we are going to show you how to move beyond fear into awareness. In our last video, we talked about Anthropic's Claude and the jobs in danger. The response was massive. Over 27,000 of you watched it, and the comments were intense. I read them all. Many of you felt anxious or fearful, but many of you questioned the narrative. Some of you even called me an AI bot. So I think a follow-up is a must, not just to prove that I'm a real person, but also to tell you that it is not all gloom and doom. Yes, the landscape is shifting, but there are some very green pastures ahead if you know where to look. But before we move it, I would really like to clarify that my goal here isn't to sell you a fantasy or to scare you. It is to give you the facts as they are. You might agree with me or you might totally disagree. That's fine. But it's better to be prepared for a reality that doesn't happen than to be ignored by a reality when it does, right? Today is February 9, 2026, and let's use data to establish the reality. The impact of AI is not a prediction anymore. If you look at the latest filings, TCS saw its net headcount drop by more than 30,000 over last year. While they're still hiring freshers, the total workforce is shrinking for the first time in history. Why? Because demand for fresher roles that involves highly repetitive tasks is now almost zero. Machine can now update, reply to, and close most L1 tickets without a human ever touching them. But here is the secret. If the manual labor is gone, what are the companies like TCS and Infosys doing with 350,000 people they have just trained in AI? Clients in New York and London don't pay IT giants just to code anymore. They pay them for systematic reliability. They need a human pilot in the cockpit who they can trust to handle the controls when the AI hits a storm. Let's start with hard truths. L1 support and manual testing are no longer jobs. They are automated features. In 2026, an AI agent can run 10,000 regression tests and resolve 500 password resets while you're having your morning chai. But think of a commercial jet. The autopilot flies 99% of the journey. But you still need a pilot. Why? Because when the sensors fail or a black swan event happens, you need a human judgment. In the corporate world, this is called human in the loop. Imagine a project for a UK bank. The AI is processing thousands of loan modifications. It's fast. But then it hits a customer with a rare cross-border pension. Something the AI wasn't trained on. The AI might hallucinate and reject the loan. The bank doesn't sue the AI, they ask for the IT partner. Who signed off on this? In 2026, you will become the trainer for AI. You aren't just checking a button works. You are checking and teaching the AI the nuances of global banking contracts. But that is not an easy process. Machines have added a massive layer of complexity. Enterprise contracts now have accountability metrics. If an AI makes a mistake, the contract specifies exactly which human team was supposed to catch it. So you are now responsible for signing off on AI's decision. If you click approve and it's wrong, then it's your professional reputation on the line. So you have to look at AI's logic and decide if it's following the law. So on your resume, stop saying you performed testing. Instead, you should start saying that you managed a human in the loop oversight framework. Talk about how you reduced risk by identifying AI hallucinations in non-linear edge cases and served as the final certifying authority. Now, let's talk about coding basics. Basic Java and Python development is being hollowed out. By early 2026, we have AI agents that can look at a Jira ticket, write the code, and submit a pull request, all while you are asleep. But here is why the replace all button hasn't been pressed yet. Most of you in Pune or Bangalore or any other IT company are working on the legacy systems, the 15-year-old monoliths that run on the world's bank. Migrating these systems is a minefield. First, there are transition costs. For a bank, this isn't just about money. It's about regulatory data. By law, banks must maintain perfect data lineage for years. If an AI agent accidentally breaks a connection to the old database, during migration, you will lose your data lineage. And that is an immediate regulatory fine. Then there is a risk of an accidental crash. A 30-minute outage for a global bank can lead to millions in lost income and massive fines from the RBI. AI agents are fast, but they don't understand system fragility. They might optimize a piece of code that was actually a dirty hack and used to keep a 20-year-old mainframe stable. The people who wrote that code in 2008 are actually gone. The documentation is missing. But if AI hallucinates when it tries to guess why it was written that way and deletes it because it thinks it's a system or it's a file size issue, then it is a big problem. And that is where you become the orchestrator. You don't write every line of code, but you manage this migration strategy. You use a fleet of agents, one to document, one to refactor, and one to test, but you are the conductor. You decide how to strangle the old systems and move it to cloud without the bank getting fined. On your resume, you aren't a Java expert, you are a transition specialist who designed automated safety checks to ensure data integrity during core migrations. Finally, let's talk about the regulatory wall, the data analysts. I called BI as B1, and so many of you jumped on me. So you guys are really sharp, and you have seen the shift. AI can find patterns in seconds, but it cannot explain its reasoning to a judge or a government auditor. And here is the secret. Training an AI is actually much harder than training a human. Think about it. You are intelligent and coherent. If a manager explains a new rule to you in a 30-minute meeting, you will understand its intent, you will adapt, and human training can be controlled and the outcome is predictable. But training a model to be an enterprise ready is incredibly complex and astronomically expensive. So even after spending millions, the results are often unpredictable. The model might work 95% of the time in a lab, but fail completely when it hits the messy data of the retail IT project. And this is where the governance is the new high-paying career path. In India, the DPDP Act is now in full force, and in so many other countries as well. If an AI agent accidentally leaks customer data or uses biased logic to reject a loan, the fine is up to 250 crores. So no CEO can let an autonomous agent run wild without a governor. The human can explain the AI decisions and catch the training failure. So you are the one who signs the compliance certificate that allows the AI to stay alive. And you know the power of attestation. So on your resume, move from report maker to AI governance lead. Show that you are implementing explainable AI framework to bridge the reliability gap and protect your firm from 250 crore fines. So in continuation from our earlier video, is the IT job market dead? For the worker category, unfortunately, yes, it's a bloodbath. For the pilot, the orchestrator, and the governor, as explained above in the video, the value is actually going up. So we need to stop being afraid of machines that are quite frankly very difficult to train and often reliable. And you will not believe it, it's actually easier to train your dog, the pet dog, than to train an AI agent with full reliability. Your human qualities, your coherence, your ability to understand intent, and your professional accountability are your most valuable assets in 2026. So TCS and Infosys are still hiring. Over 20,000 freshers are expected to join this year, but they aren't looking for programmers. They are looking for AI-Augmented Leaders. So we don't need to be afraid, we need to be aware. The future doesn't belong to the AI. It belongs to the human who the client can trust to run its processes with AI, with human, or as a hybrid model. But if you are able to perform that, you are going to be employed. So here is your quick 3-step plan to make your resume AI proof. Stop counting the years of experience and start counting AI outcomes. Learn one governance framework like the DPDP guidelines. Build one agentic project to show how you can orchestrate. I mean, getting a Claude membership is basically very easy. It's just about $17 a month. Let the machine do the labor, but the human will own the outcome. Prove this to your recruiters. And I have put together a role-by-role resume template for these new 3 categories that I explained in my video. And it's in the description. So go ahead and download it and try and upload your profile. And I will see you in the next video. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for your time.